film, and the director of that is now made his motion picture debut, again adapting the novel by Scott Smith. Let's have a big fango welcome for Carter Smith, director of The Ruins.
Thank you.
And we're also going to show you an exclusive clip, flesh-crawling clip from this movie in a few minutes, so definitely sit tight.
The amputation sequence.
Oh no, holy cow. So tell us about getting, you offered several films before taking this one on based on the award-winning film, short film you had done that played Sundance, et cetera, et cetera. What made you choose this one over some of the other stuff you were being offered?
You know, I was reading a lot of scripts, and I mean, just script after script, like 3-4 of them a day. And I mean, I got a lot of horror scripts because of Bug Crush. And, you know, this was the first thing that I read that, like, really stuck with me. I mean, you know, by the time I was on page 20, I was like, I have to figure out a way to do this. You know, I have to get this job. You know, it's just a really well-written script, and it's a, you know, it kind of kept me riveted the entire time. And I'd read the book, so I knew exactly what was going to happen. You know, and so then it just became about getting the job.
Uh-huh. By the way, there's no relation between Carter Smith and Scott Smith, the author of the original novel. What challenges did you and Scott face in adapting the novel for the screen? And it was quite a coup, of course. Scott actually writing the screenplay was a big help, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, it was great having him write the script because he, you know, I mean, he knows those characters, you know, better than anybody. He'd spent a year with them, you know, before any of us even got involved. And I mean, I think that it was challenging to do a film that takes place basically all in one location, you know, and keep it sort of visually interesting and you know, but I mean, obviously, like, you know, vines that do more than they're supposed to becomes an immediate challenge, you know, because the kind of the tone that we wanted to take with the film was really sort of realistic and naturalistic. So, you know, there was never any you know, sort of idea that this was a monster movie. It was more, you know, sort of a survival movie. Right. So it's just figuring out a way to make the vines sort of live in that world, you know, and be realistic.
Cool. For those who haven't read the original novel, could you give us a short synopsis of the storyline?
Yeah, I mean, it's about two couples that are on vacation in Mexico that sort of make an ill-fated decision to head off into the jungle with the German tourists that they meet, and you know, to check out these ruins. And you know, sort of one thing leads to another, and things get worse and worse and worse. How many people have actually read the book? Anyone? Not very many. That's surprising.
Wow, it is. Well, they're waiting for the movie tie-in.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Sure. The mass market paperback.
Tell us about the cast you've assembled for the film.
Well, we've got we've got Jenna Malone, who, you know, was kind of always my first sort of dream choice, and so she was actually the first one that we brought on, and then we've got Jonathan Tucker, who, you know, from Texas Chainsaw and the Black Donnellys, Laura Ramsey, who, you know, actually was the biggest sort of pleasant surprise of the whole cast. I mean, she really kind of shines. And then Shawn Ashmore from X-Men. And then this guy Joe Anderson, who is a sort of a new young actor.
Oh, okay. What kind of physical challenges did you face bringing the vines to life in the movie?
I mean, you know, vines that move is challenging, you know, and sort of doing it in a way that was believable and realistic. And you know, and from early on, we decided, okay, we're not going to do it all CG, you know, so sort of figuring out a way to, like, you know, blend practical effects with digital effects, and, you know, and sort of, I mean, we're shooting in daylight too. I mean, you know, broad daylight, the middle of the day, you know, harsh sun. So it's not like there was a lot of, you know, forgiveness from the photography. So, you know, we had to figure out a way to make it seamless and absolutely believable, which was not always the easiest thing.
Was it difficult recreating the jungle, these ruins in Australia, as opposed to say going to Mexico?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the jungle in Australia is actually pretty strikingly similar to a lot of Mexican jungle, and we built we actually built the ruins. You know, it was like an actual 4-story high scaffolding and cement structure that was basically recreated. At the site that we chose. So, I mean, the people that built it had a really hard time, but it wasn't that hard for me. I just said didn't here and turn it a little bit this way.